Close your eyes and imagine standing at the edge of a vast national park, where the air itself seems to breathe differently, where time moves like honey, and where your mind can finally rest. Tonight, we're going to discover together why these wild places have such a profound ability to calm your brain, to quiet the noise, to bring you peace. This isn't just poetry or wishful thinking. There's a beautiful science behind why national parks soothe us so deeply, and as we explore this together, let that same calm wash over you now. When you step into a national park, something remarkable happens in your brain within the first few moments. Your amygdala, that ancient alarm system tucked deep in your brain's core, begins to quiet. This small, almond-shaped structure has been on high alert all day, scanning for threats in traffic, emails, deadlines, and crowds. But here, surrounded by the ancient rhythms of nature, it starts to recognize something your ancestors knew well: you are safe. Studies using functional MRI scans have shown that just 20 minutes in a natural environment like a national park causes measurable decreases in activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rumination and worry. This is the region that loops through anxious thoughts, that replays conversations, that plans and frets. In nature, it rests. Your brain produces different electrical patterns in wild spaces. The fast, jangling beta waves associated with active thinking and stress begin to slow. Alpha waves, those gentle rhythms of relaxed wakefulness, start to flow more freely through your neural pathways. It's as if your mind is downshifting from fifth gear into second, finding a pace it was designed for across millennia of evolution. There's a reason for this deep recognition. For 99% of human history, we lived in natural environments. The modern urban landscape, with its straight lines, constant noise, and endless stimulation, is only a few centuries old in human experience. Your brain, though, is still fundamentally wired for the savanna, the forest, the mountains. National parks offer a homecoming to a landscape your neurons remember. As you walk deeper into this imagined national park, breathing in air filtered by millions of pine needles and oak leaves, your body's chemistry begins to transform. The trees themselves are medicine, though not in any bottle or prescription. When trees respire, they release organic compounds called phytoncides. These are antimicrobial volatile substances that trees use to protect themselves from insects and decay. But something extraordinary happens when you breathe them in. Japanese researchers studying forest bathing, or Shinrin-yoku, discovered that phytoncides increase the production of natural killer cells in your bloodstream. These cells are part of your immune system, but they also signal your body that you're in a place of healing, triggering a cascade of relaxation responses. Your cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone that's been elevated by your morning commute, your afternoon meetings, your evening news consumption, begin to drop within 15 minutes of being surrounded by trees. In one study of people visiting national forests, cortisol levels decreased by 12.4% on average. That might not sound dramatic, but it's enough to shift your entire nervous system from sympathetic activation, fight or flight, to parasympathetic restoration, rest and digest. Simultaneously, your body increases production of serotonin, often called the happiness neurotransmitter, though it's better understood as a stabilizer of mood and well-being. The combination of physical movement through natural terrain, exposure to natural light filtered through leaves, and the subtle sensory richness of wild places all contribute to this shift in neurochemistry. Even your blood pressure responds. Researchers have measured an average drop of 6 points in systolic pressure and 4 points in diastolic pressure after time in national park environments. Your heart literally finds an easier rhythm. National parks are among the last quiet places on Earth, and this silence itself is medicine for your overstimulated nervous system. Gordon Hempton, an acoustic ecologist, has identified national parks as containing some of the few remaining 1 square inch of silence locations in the United States, places where you can experience 15 minutes or more without human-made sound. But it's not really silence, is it? It's a different kind of sound entirely. The rustle of wind through aspen leaves creates a frequency pattern that's random yet rhythmic, unpredictable yet soothing. Your auditory cortex, exhausted from filtering traffic noise, alarms, voices, and machinery, finds this natural white noise incredibly restorative. Unlike the steady drone of air conditioning or the jarring interruptions of urban soundscapes, natural sounds fluctuate in what researchers call 1/F scaling or pink noise, a pattern that matches the inherent rhythms of your brain and body. The sound of running water, whether it's a creek tumbling over stones or waves against a lake shore, has been measured to induce meditative brain states. The frequency typically ranges between 50 and 200 Hz, falling perfectly within the range that encourages alpha wave production in your brain. This is why the sound of a string can lull you towards sleep even when you're not tired, why the ocean's rhythm pulls you into a trance. Bird songs, too, have a particular effect. Studies at the Brighton and Sussex Medical School found that listening to natural soundscapes, particularly birdsong, was associated with decreased stress and increased attention restoration. Your brain processes these sounds differently than it does human speech or mechanical noise. They register as part of the background of safety, the ambient sound of a world in balance. Even the absence of sound has power. In the deep silence of a wilderness area, your hearing becomes so acute you can detect your own heartbeat, your own breathing. This heightened interoception, this awareness of your internal state, is deeply calming. It brings you into your body, into this moment, out of the abstract worries that live only in thought. The colors of national parks are calibrated to calm. The human eye can distinguish more shades of green than any other color, an evolutionary adaptation from our tree-dwelling and forest-foraging ancestors. When you gaze out at a meadow of green grasses, at the verdant canopy of a forest, at the green-blue waters of a pristine lake, you're engaging the most sophisticated color processing system your visual cortex possesses. Green specifically has been shown to reduce sympathetic nervous system activity. In color psychology studies, exposure to natural greens reduces muscle tension and promotes feelings of tranquility. The wavelength of green light, falling in the middle of the visible spectrum at around 520 to 570 nanometers, is processed with minimal effort by your retinas. Your eyes literally relax when looking at green, requiring less accommodation and focusing energy than when processing reds or blues. But it's not just green. The blues of sky and water have their own medicine. Looking at blue has been associated with decreased heart rate and lowered body temperature, a cooling calm that spreads through your system. Some researchers theorize this is because blue indicated clean water and clear skies to our ancestors, signals of safety and abundance. Natural landscapes also lack the sharp angles and perfect symmetries of human construction. The fractal patterns of trees, rivers, clouds, and mountains, with their self-similar structures repeating at different scales, are processed effortlessly by your visual system. Mathematician Richard Taylor discovered that humans show measurability reduced stress responses when viewing fractal patterns with a specific dimension, between 1.3 and 1.5, which happens to be the exact fractal dimension of many natural objects, trees, clouds, coastlines. Your eyes evolved to see long distances across savannas and through forests. In modern life, you focus constantly at close range, on screens, on books, on the car in front of you. This sustained near focus creates eye strain and triggers stress responses. In a national park, your gaze can extend to the horizon, to distant mountains, to the far edge of a canyon. This long-distance viewing, what optometrists call accommodative rest, allows the muscles in your eyes to relax completely, sending signals to your brain that all is well, that you can see danger coming from far away, that you are safe. When you walk through a national park, your body finds a rhythm that's ancient and restorative. Unlike the stop-start of city walking, dodging pedestrians and waiting at crosswalks, walking a trail allows you to settle into a steady pace. This rhythmic movement, researchers have found, entrains your brain waves into more coherent, organized patterns. The bilateral movement of walking, right-left, activates both hemispheres of your brain in an alternating pattern. This bilateral stimulation is the same mechanism used in EMDR therapy for trauma and has been shown to facilitate processing of emotional material and reduction of anxiety. Without even trying, a simple walk in the woods provides this therapeutic rhythm. Your breath synchronizes with your steps. Perhaps 4 steps per inhale, 4 steps per exhale. This walking meditation naturally slows your breathing rate from the typical 15 to 20 breaths per minute of modern stress down to 8 to 10 breaths per minute. This slower breathing directly activates your parasympathetic nervous system through the vagus nerve, the wandering nerve that connects your brain to your heart, lungs, and digestive system. The uneven terrain of a natural trail, unlike flat pavement, requires constant small adjustments in balance and gait. This engages proprioceptive awareness, your sense of where your body is in space, and draws your attention into physical sensation rather than mental rumination. You must be present to navigate roots and rocks. This forced mindfulness is one of the great gifts of walking in wild places. Studies of people walking in nature versus urban environments show fascinating differences in brain activity. Nature walkers show decreased blood flow to the subgenual prefrontal cortex, a region associated with rumination and dwelling on negative thoughts. City walkers show no such decrease. The very act of moving through natural space interrupts the cycles of worry. Something you can't see is happening as you breathe in the air of a national park, as you touch the bark of trees, as you sit on the earth. You're exchanging microbes with the ecosystem, and this exchange is more important than scientists realized until very recently. The soil of pristine wild areas contains bacteria that urban and agricultural soils lack. One bacterium in particular, Mycobacterium vaccae, commonly found in forest soils, has been shown in studies to increase serotonin production when inhaled or ingested. Researchers injected mice with this bacterium and found it activated serotonin-producing neurons in their brains, creating an antidepressant-like effect. Simply breathing in the air above healthy soil may expose you to these mood-regulating microbes. Your skin microbiome, the community of bacteria living on your skin, changes within hours of being in a natural environment. Studies comparing the skin microbiomes of people who spend time in forests versus those who spend time in cities show that nature exposure increases microbial diversity. This diversity is associated with better immune function and decreased inflammatory responses, which in turn affect mood and stress levels. The human microbiome, particularly in your gut, communicates directly with your brain through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. The bacteria in your digestive system produce neurotransmitters, including 90% of your body's serotonin. When you alter your environmental microbiome through nature exposure, you may be indirectly shifting the balance of these mood-regulating chemicals. This is the ancient exchange, the conversation between your body and the living earth, that modern sterile environments have interrupted. National parks preserve not just landscapes but these invisible communities of life that our bodies co-evolved with, that we may need more than we know. Near waterfalls, beside rushing streams, after rainstorms in the forest, the air in national parks is rich with something that sounds like science fiction: negative ions. These are oxygen molecules that have gained an extra electron, and they're abundant in pristine natural areas while being scarce in cities and indoor spaces. When you breathe air rich in negative ions, it appears to increase oxygen flow to your brain, resulting in higher alertness during the day and better sleep at night. Studies have suggested that negative ions may increase levels of serotonin in your bloodstream, though the exact mechanism is still being researched. What's certain is that people consistently report feeling more energized and calmer near waterfalls, oceans, and forests after storms, all places where negative ions concentrate. Positive ions, by contrast, which are more common in polluted air, air conditioning, and electronic environments, are associated with increased stress, fatigue, and irritability. The simple act of moving from an environment saturated with positive ions to one abundant in negative ions may account for the immediate sense of relief many people feel upon entering a national park. The cleanest air on Earth is found in protected wilderness areas. In places like Olympic National Park's Hoh Rainforest or the remote sections of Denali, you can breathe air that's passed through no industrial filters, that's been purified by millions of trees, that contains the same balance of gases and particles that human lungs evolved to breathe. This purity itself reduces the inflammatory burden on your respiratory system, easing a stress you didn't know you were carrying. Standing at the rim of the Grand Canyon, beneath the giant sequoias of Yosemite, watching the sun set over the Everglades, you might experience something psychologists call awe, a complex emotion that has profound effects on your brain and well-being. Researchers Dr. Keltner and Jonathan Haidt define awe as the feeling we experience when encountering something vast that transcends our current understanding of the world. National parks are perhaps the most reliable generators of awe in modern life. The scale of these landscapes, the age of these formations, the power of these natural forces, all exceed the bounds of everyday experience. When you experience awe, studies using fMRI scans show that your default mode network, the part of your brain associated with self-referential thinking and mind-wandering, quiets dramatically. The constant narrative of me and my problems diminishes. You become less focused on yourself and more connected to something larger. This shift is deeply restorative for people caught in cycles of anxiety and depression, which often involve excessive self-focus. Awe also appears to affect your perception of time. In studies where people watched awe-inspiring videos of nature versus neutral or happy videos, those who experienced awe reported feeling like they had more time available. It's as if awe expands the present moment, releasing you from the feeling of being rushed and pressured that characterizes modern life. People who regularly experience awe show higher levels of curiosity, creativity, and life satisfaction. They're more generous, more willing to help others, more patient. The vastness of a national park puts your individual concerns in perspective without making them seem meaningless. Instead, you find yourself part of a larger pattern, a longer story. The light in national parks is different from the light in cities, and your body knows it. Natural light contains the full spectrum of wavelengths, from infrared to ultraviolet, and it changes in quality and intensity throughout the day in patterns your circadian system has evolved to track. In the morning, the blue wavelengths in sunlight signal your brain to suppress melatonin production and increase cortisol, waking you naturally. As evening approaches, the light shifts to warmer wavelengths, reds and oranges, that allow melatonin to rise, preparing you for sleep. In modern life, this natural rhythm is disrupted by artificial lighting, screens, and indoor living. Your circadian clock becomes confused, contributing to sleep problems and mood disturbances. Camping in a national park, even for a few days, has been shown to reset circadian rhythms. In a landmark study published in Current Biology, researchers took campers to the Colorado Rockies and measured their melatonin levels. After just 1 week of exposure to only natural light, the campers' circadian clocks synchronized with solar time. Their melatonin rose earlier in the evening and declined earlier in the morning. They fell asleep more easily and woke more refreshed. The darkness of national parks at night is equally important. In designated dark sky parks like Big Bend or Death Valley, you can experience true darkness, unmarred by light pollution. This darkness allows your pineal gland to produce melatonin in the quantities your body needs for deep, restorative sleep. Many people in modern cities never experience true darkness, and their sleep suffers chronically as a result. The stars themselves have an effect. Looking up at the Milky Way, visible in all its glory from remote national parks, creates another form of awe while also reducing near-focus eye strain. Your eyes relax into infinity focus, looking at light that's traveled for thousands of years to reach you. The temperature in a national park fluctuates in ways that are healthy for your body. Unlike the constant climate control of modern indoor life, natural environments challenge your thermoregulatory system gently, and this mild stress is actually beneficial. Cool morning air triggers brown adipose tissue, a special kind of fat that generates heat and improves metabolism. Evening coolness as the sun sets signals your body that it's time to wind down, as core body temperature naturally drops in preparation for sleep. These temperature changes help reinforce healthy circadian rhythms. Exposure to natural temperature variations improves cold tolerance and stress resilience. Studies have shown that people who spend regular time in natural environments have better autonomic nervous system function, better able to adapt to changing conditions. This flexibility in response to mild environmental challenges translates to better emotional regulation and stress management in daily life. The humidity in forests and near bodies of water is often higher than in urban environments or climate-controlled buildings. This moisture is soothing to your respiratory system and helps prevent the dehydration that can occur in very dry air, which itself is a subtle stressor on your body. In your daily life, you make thousands of decisions, from what to wear to what to eat to how to respond to emails. This constant decision-making depletes mental resources in what psychologists call decision fatigue. By the end of the day, you have less willpower, less focus, less emotional regulation. In a national park, especially when following a trail, many decisions are made for you. The path goes where it goes. You walk it. The simplicity is liberating. Your prefrontal cortex, exhausted from choice after choice, finally rests. You fall into a flow state more easily, where action and awareness merge. There's also the freedom from social performance. In wilderness areas, you don't have to manage your appearance, your expression, your words for social acceptance. You can let your face relax into its neutral state. You can walk at whatever pace feels natural. You can make odd sounds or talk to yourself or sing off-key. The constant subtle effort of social navigation, of reading and responding to social cues, ceases. This is what researchers call effortless attention versus directed attention. Directed attention is what you use to focus on work, to drive in traffic, to follow conversations. It's limited and depleting. Effortless attention is what's captured by birdsong, rustling leaves, distant mountains. It's restorative rather than depleting. National parks are rich in stimuli that capture effortless attention while being almost entirely free of demands on directed attention. When you walk barefoot on the earth in a national park, when you touch trees, when you sit on stone, you're participating in what some researchers call earthing or grounding, the practice of making direct physical contact with the Earth's surface. The Earth carries a negative electrical charge, and when you make direct contact, electrons may transfer into your body, potentially neutralizing free radicals and reducing inflammation. While this field of research is still emerging and sometimes controversial, several studies have shown measurable effects from earthing, including reduced blood viscosity, improved sleep, and decreased pain. Whether or not electron transfer is the mechanism, the simple act of touching natural materials engages your tactile sense in ways that are soothing. The texture of bark, rough and complex, provides rich sensory input. The coolness of stone, the softness of moss, the smoothness of river-worn pebbles, these tactile experiences ground you in physical reality, pulling you out of abstract mental space. Your hands contain some of the highest concentrations of nerve endings in your body. When you use them to touch the natural world, you're providing your brain with tremendous sensory feedback. This activates your somatosensory cortex, the body mapping region of your brain, reinforcing your felt sense of being embodied, of being physical, of being here. National parks offer something rare in modern life, the opportunity for genuine solitude. Not loneliness, which is painful, but chosen solitude, which is restorative. In wilderness areas, you might walk for hours without seeing another person. This break from social stimulation allows your social nervous system to rest. Your brain dedicates enormous resources to social processing, reading facial expressions, interpreting tone of voice, predicting others' intentions, managing your own social presentation. This is exhausting work, even when you enjoy it. In solitude, surrounded by non-judgmental nature, this constant processing can cease. At the same time, for those who visit with others, national parks facilitate a different kind of social connection. Without phones or screens, conversation deepens. Shared awe experiences create powerful bonding. Walking side by side, rather than facing each other across a table, can make conversation easier and more honest. Many people report having their best, most meaningful conversations during hikes. The combination of solitude and selective connection may be optimal for human well-being. Extended isolation is harmful, but so is the constant connectivity of modern life. National parks allow you to modulate social contact in healthy ways. Standing before a bristlecone pine that has lived for 4,000 years, looking at rock layers in the Grand Canyon that represent 2 billion years of Earth's history, touching fossilized remains of ancient seas, you encounter deep time in a way that recalibrates your sense of scale. Your daily worries exist in the time frame of hours, days, perhaps weeks. Your career concerns might span decades. But here is a tree older than the pyramids. Here is stone that was forming when the only life on Earth was bacterial. The contrast is dizzying and strangely comforting. Psychologists have found that contemplating deep time can reduce anxiety and increase prosocial behavior. It puts your individual concerns in context without invalidating them. You matter, but you're also part of a story much larger than yourself. This perspective is the opposite of the temporal myopia that modern life encourages, where everything is urgent, everything is now. The slow processes visible in national parks, erosion, growth, succession, migration, model a different pace of change. Not everything happens instantly. Not everything should. Patience itself is taught by watching a sunset spread across a valley, by following the seasonal transformation of a landscape, by sitting with the gradual shift of light across a rock face. The richness of life in national parks, from microorganisms in soil to apex predators, creates what ecologists call biodiversity, and recent research suggests that biodiversity itself has measurable effects on human well-being. Studies have shown that people who live in areas with higher biodiversity, more species of plants and birds, have better mental health outcomes. The mechanisms aren't fully understood, but it may be that our brains respond positively to complexity, to the sense of a healthy, functioning ecosystem. We evolved in biodiverse environments, and we may find them inherently reassuring at a deep level. Bird species diversity in particular correlates with life satisfaction and reduced anxiety in studied populations. The variety of bird songs, the different flight patterns, the interactions between species, all of this creates a rich sensory tapestry that your brain processes as a sign of environmental health. When you see a complete food web in action, predator and prey, decomposer and producer, you witness balance. Modern life often feels deeply out of balance, too much of some things, not enough of others. The equilibrium of a preserved ecosystem, however dynamic and changing, models wholeness. All of these factors work together synergistically. The phytoncides from trees combine with the negative ions from waterfalls. The visual fractals of forest canopy work alongside the rhythmic walking. The cool morning air meets the sound of birdsong. The solitude allows you to notice the awe. The deep time perspective helps you release decision fatigue. Your brain and body respond to this integration in ways that no single factor alone could achieve. This is what makes national parks so profoundly restorative. They're complete environments that engage all of your senses, all of your systems, in patterns that support wholeness. Research into what's called nature-based therapy or ecotherapy is revealing that prescription time in nature can be as effective as medication for mild to moderate depression and anxiety. Some physicians in Scotland and other countries now prescribe nature visits the way they might prescribe physical therapy or dietary changes. The cumulative effect of time in national parks includes improved immune function, better cardiovascular health, enhanced creativity, increased life satisfaction, improved sleep quality, reduced symptoms of ADHD in children, faster recovery from surgery and illness, and increased longevity. These aren't separate benefits but manifestations of a system-wide shift toward health and balance. Perhaps most remarkably, even the memory of time spent in national parks continues to provide benefits long after you've returned to daily life. Studies have shown that recalling nature experiences activates some of the same neural pathways as the original experience, providing a mild continuation of the restorative effects. Looking at photographs of the places you've visited, replaying the sounds you've recorded, even simply closing your eyes and remembering the smell of pine or the sight of a mountain vista, can lower your heart rate and reduce stress hormones. The experiences become resources you can draw on. This is why people often keep mementos from national parks: a smooth stone, a pressed flower, a piece of driftwood. These objects serve as anchors for the full sensory memory, allowing quicker access to the calm state you experienced. Many people report that their time in national parks changes their baseline level of stress permanently. They return to work, to cities, to their complicated lives, but something has shifted. They breathe more deeply. They notice trees they would have walked past before. They seek out small pockets of nature in their urban environments. The parks plant seeds of awareness that continue to grow. Let's follow a stream now, deeper into this restorative landscape. Water in national parks flows in patterns that have remained unchanged for thousands of years, and these patterns speak to something deep in your biology. The meandering of rivers follows mathematical principles called sinuosity, curves that develop naturally as water finds the path of least resistance. These curves, with their specific ratios and rhythms, create visual patterns that your brain processes with particular ease. Studies of eye tracking show that people's gaze follows these natural curves smoothly, without the micro-adjustments and tension that come from following straight lines or irregular human-made patterns. When you sit beside moving water, your brain begins to synchronize with its rhythm. The flow isn't perfectly steady, it has variations, eddies, small surges and calms. This variability is crucial. Heart rate variability, the subtle variations in time between heartbeats, is a key marker of health and stress resilience. Higher heart rate variability indicates better autonomic nervous system function. Research shows that spending time near natural water sources can increase heart rate variability, essentially training your nervous system to be more flexible and responsive. The minerals in pristine park waters create what's called structured water, with molecular arrangements slightly different from tap water. While the science here is still developing, what's clear is that the taste, the feel, the very quality of wild water is different. Your body recognizes it. Drinking from a cold mountain stream, you're taking in water that hasn't been through treatment plants, that carries the mineral signature of the stone it's flowed through, that's been aerated by tumbling over rocks. The humidity rising from lakes and rivers in national parks carries more than just water molecules. It carries the scent compounds of aquatic plants, algae, minerals. When you breathe this moisture-laden air, it soothes the mucous membranes of your respiratory system, which may be dried out from air conditioning and heating systems. This gentle hydration of your airways reduces irritation and inflammation, subtle stressors that your body has been managing without your conscious awareness. Waterfalls create what researchers call a natural ionizer effect. The crashing water produces a fine mist filled with negative ions, those beneficial charged particles we explored earlier. Standing near a waterfall, you're essentially in a natural therapy chamber. Your lungs fill with clean, ionized, oxygenated air. The sound creates white noise that masks intrusive thoughts. The sight captivates your visual attention. Multiple healing mechanisms activate simultaneously. Beneath your feet as you walk through a national park forest, there's a network you cannot see but that profoundly affects the environment around you. The mycorrhizal network, sometimes called the Wood Wide Web, is an underground system of fungal threads connecting tree roots across vast distances. This network allows trees to share resources, to send warning signals about pests or drought, to support young saplings in deep shade that cannot photosynthesize enough to survive alone. Mother trees, the largest and oldest in a forest, have been shown to recognize their own offspring and send them extra nutrients through these fungal highways. Why does this matter for your brain? Because when you walk through a forest, you're moving through a community that is actively communicating, cooperating, supporting its members. At a level below conscious thought, your nervous system perceives this. You're not alone among isolated organisms but within a web of relationship and mutual support. The fungi themselves release compounds into the air and soil. Some mycologists believe that the distinctive smell of forests, that earthy, rich, slightly sweet scent, comes partially from fungal metabolites. When you breathe this in, you're inhaling the chemical signatures of one of Earth's most ancient kingdoms of life, one that predates plants and animals. There's speculation among researchers that exposure to diverse fungal spores may benefit human immune systems. We co-evolved with fungi in forest environments. Our immune systems may have developed to expect this exposure, to calibrate themselves against this biological diversity. In sterile modern environments, lacking this input, immune systems can become dysregulated, leading to allergies and autoimmune conditions. The very existence of these hidden networks reminds you that there's more happening than what's visible. The soil is alive. The forest is intelligent in its own way. You're walking through a system of profound complexity, and even without understanding it fully, your presence within it is soothing. It's the opposite of the simple, sterile, disconnected modern world that can feel so alienating. National parks transform through seasons in ways that modern climate-controlled life has disconnected most people from experiencing. These seasonal changes provide a rhythm that helps regulate your internal sense of time and progression. In spring, the burst of new growth, unfurling leaves, blooming flowers, emerging animals, triggers responses in your endocrine system. The increasing daylight affects your hypothalamus, which regulates not just circadian rhythms but also mood, motivation, and energy. Studies show that people who spend time observing seasonal changes in nature have better regulated mood across the year, less seasonal affective disorder, and stronger circadian rhythms. The particular green of spring leaves, that bright, almost neon green of new growth, has a higher reflectance of light than mature summer leaves. This quality of light is energizing and mood-lifting. Your eyes, evolved to notice the fruiting and leafing patterns that indicated food availability, are primed to respond to spring's palette with feelings of hope and renewal. Summer in national parks brings longer days, warmer temperatures, and maximum biodiversity. The abundance of life, insects, birds, mammals all active and visible, creates a sensory richness that feeds your need for stimulation in healthy ways. Unlike the overstimulation of digital devices or urban chaos, the complexity of a summer ecosystem engages your senses without overwhelming them. Autumn's changes are particularly powerful. The color transformation as leaves shift from green to reds, oranges, yellows, and browns happens because of decreasing daylight and temperature. Trees reabsorb the green chlorophyll and reveal the carotenoids and anthocyanins that were always present. These warm colors have been shown in color psychology studies to create feelings of warmth, comfort, and gentle energy. Autumn in nature prepares your psyche for the inward turn of winter. Winter in national parks, far from being dead or dormant, reveals structures usually hidden. Without leaves, you can see the architecture of trees, the patterns of branches following fractal rules of growth. Snow creates a sound dampening effect, producing the quietest soundscapes of the year. This deep silence is profoundly restorative for overstimulated nervous systems. The animals you might encounter in winter are the most resilient, the ones who've adapted to survive the harshest conditions. Watching them model survival, adaptation, the ability to endure. Your mirror neurons, the brain cells that activate both when you perform an action and when you observe others performing it, may respond to witnessing this resilience, subtly strengthening your own capacity to persist through difficulty. National parks exist at what researchers call an optimal level of complexity for human cognition. They're not so simple that they're boring, not so chaotic that they're overwhelming. This balance is crucial for mental restoration. Information theory tells us that systems need to be complex enough to be interesting but ordered enough to be comprehensible. A blank wall is too simple, it provides no engagement. A completely random pattern is too complex, it's just noise. Natural environments fall into the sweet spot between these extremes. When you look at a forest scene, there's tremendous complexity. Hundreds of different plants, varying terrain, shifting light and shadow, moving animals, changing weather. Yet there's also pattern and order. Trees grow upward. Water flows downward. Light comes from above. Your brain can find the patterns without effort, can predict and understand without strain. This optimal complexity keeps your attention engaged in what's called soft fascination. Unlike the hard fascination of television or social media, which grabs your attention through rapid changes in stimulation, soft fascination allows your mind to wander while remaining gently anchored to present experience. This state is ideal for the recovery of directed attention capacity. Studies using something called attention restoration theory have shown that environments with optimal complexity allow people to recover from mental fatigue better than either very simple or very chaotic environments. After spending time in optimally complex natural settings, people perform better on tasks requiring sustained attention and show improved executive function. The biodiversity of national parks contributes to this optimal complexity. Each species adds another layer of pattern, another element to notice and recognize. Bird watchers often report entering flow states, where they're completely absorbed yet relaxed. This is the gift of optimal complexity, total engagement without effort or stress. Many national parks encompass mountain environments, and altitude itself has measurable effects on your body and mind that contribute to the sense of well-being you experience there. At higher elevations, the air pressure is lower, and there's less oxygen per breath. This creates a mild, beneficial stress called hormesis. Your body responds by increasing production of red blood cells to carry oxygen more efficiently, by improving mitochondrial function in your cells, and by triggering cellular repair mechanisms. Mountain dwellers have been shown to have lower rates of certain chronic diseases, possibly due to these adaptations. The reduced oxygen also triggers increased production of something called hypoxia-inducible factor, a protein that regulates many physiological processes including metabolism and stress response. In moderate amounts, this is beneficial, essentially giving your cellular systems a workout that makes them more resilient. There's also a psychological component. The effort required to hike at altitude, the deeper breathing, the slower pace, the awareness of your body working, brings you into present moment awareness. You cannot zone out and worry about tomorrow when you're hiking uphill at 9,000 feet. Your body demands your attention, and this forced presence is therapeutic. The views from elevation have their own medicine. Looking down at valleys, seeing weather systems move below you, watching the curve of the earth emerge at the horizon, these perspectives are humbling and expanding simultaneously. The visual depth, the layers of atmosphere creating gradations of blue in the distance, provides your visual system with exactly the kind of complex, natural stimulation it evolved to process. High-altitude environments also tend to have more ultraviolet radiation due to thinner atmosphere. In moderate amounts, UV exposure triggers vitamin D production in your skin. Vitamin D deficiency is linked to depression, weakened immune function, and bone loss. The higher UV in mountain parks helps maintain healthy vitamin D levels naturally, the way human bodies did for most of our history. In national parks, predators still roam. Wolves, bears, mountain lions, apex predators that have been eliminated from most human-inhabited areas. Their presence changes the ecosystem in ways that cascade down to affect everything, including you. When predators are present, prey animals are more alert, more vigilant. They move through the landscape differently. This creates what ecologists call a landscape of fear, which, paradoxically, leads to a healthier, more balanced ecosystem. Prey animals don't overgraze any one area because they stay mobile. Plant communities diversify. The whole system becomes more resilient. For you as a visitor, the knowledge that predators are present creates a mild, manageable sense of alertness. This isn't the chronic stress of worrying about bills or deadlines. It's the acute, immediate awareness that kept your ancestors alive on the savannah. It brings you into your body, sharpens your senses, connects you to the ancient role of being a vulnerable animal in a living landscape. Studies have shown that people who hike in areas with predators report higher levels of aliveness and vitality afterward compared to hiking in areas without predators, even when they don't encounter the predators directly. Simply knowing they're there changes the quality of attention you bring to the experience. This mild, healthy alertness is different from anxiety. Anxiety is fear without an object, worry about abstract futures. The awareness of potential predators is concrete, present-focused, and actually uses your fear response system the way it evolved to be used. This can be restorative for people whose fear responses have been dysregulated by chronic modern stress. Of course, actual attacks are extraordinarily rare. You're statistically safer hiking in grizzly country than driving to the trailhead. But the possibility, however remote, wakes something up in you. It reminds you that you're alive, that life is precious, that this moment matters. When you hike through a national park on a dry day, dust rises from the trail. This isn't just inert dirt, it's a complex mixture of minerals, organic matter, bacterial spores, pollen, and countless other particles. And inhaling it, in the small amounts you encounter on a trail, may be beneficial. Research into the hygiene hypothesis suggests that modern humans, living in sanitized environments, don't expose their immune systems to enough diverse microbes and particles. This lack of exposure may contribute to the rise in allergies, asthma, and autoimmune diseases. Exposure to the diverse microbial ecosystem of soil helps train and regulate immune responses. A specific bacterium found in soil, which we touched on earlier, Mycobacterium vaccae, has been shown not just to increase serotonin but also to improve cognitive function in mice. Treated mice navigated mazes faster and showed less anxiety behavior than untreated controls. The implication is that contact with healthy soil may actually make you smarter and calmer. Minerals in the dust, silica, calcium, iron, magnesium, are in forms that can be absorbed through mucous membranes in tiny amounts. While this isn't a significant source of nutrients, there's speculation that the body recognizes and responds to these trace minerals, perhaps as signals of environmental richness. The very act of getting dirty, of having soil under your fingernails and dust on your skin, is psychologically liberating for many people. Modern life emphasizes cleanliness to an extreme degree. Allowing yourself to be earthy, to smell like the outdoors, to carry the physical traces of wild places, can feel like permission to be more natural, less controlled, more authentically yourself. Traditional cultures around the world have practices involving soil and clay, applying mud to skin, creating clay structures, working with earth. These practices may have emerged not just from practical needs but from an intuitive understanding that contact with earth is grounding, centering, healing. Many national parks serve as crucial stops on bird migration routes, and witnessing these migrations connects you to planetary-scale patterns of movement and survival. Twice a year, billions of birds fly thousands of miles between breeding and wintering grounds, navigating by stars, magnetic fields, landmarks, and means we're still discovering. National parks along these routes, places like Point Reyes in California, Cape May in New Jersey, or the refuges along the Texas coast, become temporary homes to spectacular numbers and varieties of birds. Watching migrants arrive, exhausted from their journey, feeding intensively to regain strength, then continuing on, you witness determination and vulnerability simultaneously. These small creatures, some weighing less than an ounce, cross oceans and mountain ranges. The perspective this offers is profound. If they can do that, what are you capable of? The timing of migrations is triggered by day length and hormonal changes. Birds are intimately connected to seasonal rhythms in ways modern humans often aren't. Observing them can help recalibrate your own sense of seasonal time, reminding you that you, too, are an animal with natural rhythms and cycles. Birdsong during migration seasons becomes a chorus of different species. Each song has evolved over millennia to carry specific information, territorial claims, mate attraction, alarm calls. Your auditory system, processing this natural soundscape, experiences the acoustic environment your ancestors knew. There's evidence that exposure to biodiverse natural sounds improves auditory processing and may even help prevent age-related hearing decline. The sheer spectacle of mass migration, watching thousands of raptors kettling on thermals, or clouds of songbirds arriving at dawn, or snow geese filling the sky, induces awe. And we've discussed how awe quiets the self-focused rumination that feeds anxiety and depression, how it expands your sense of time and connection. The rock beneath your feet in a national park is ancient beyond human comprehension, And this deep stability has a subtle but real psychological effect. When you stand on bedrock that's billions of years old, on mountains that have been eroding for millions of years but still stand, you're encountering permanence. In a world of constant change, where jobs, relationships, and identities feel unstable, rock endures. Geologists speak of deep time, the vast timescales over which geological processes operate. A mountain range rises over tens of millions of years. A river cuts a canyon over millions. These processes are so slow they're imperceptible in a human lifetime, yet their results are monumental. Contemplating geological time has been shown to reduce anxiety about personal change and uncertainty. Your problems, however significant, are occurring on a timescale of months or years. The stone has survived ice ages, meteor impacts, the rise and fall of species. There's something steadying about that context. The minerals and rocks also have properties beyond their chemical composition. Hikers have long reported that sitting or lying on sun-warmed rock is particularly restful. The thermal mass of stone absorbs and radiates heat slowly, creating a gentle, steady warmth different from artificial heating. This consistent, natural warmth can soothe tense muscles and encourage deep relaxation. Certain rocks, particularly crystalline formations like granite, have piezoelectric properties. They generate small electrical charges when compressed. Whether these charges have any effect on humans is speculative, but it's intriguing to consider that the earth beneath you might be subtly electrically active in ways we don't fully understand. The very hardness and density of rock provides a sense of support that's different from human-made surfaces. Concrete is hard, but it's relatively new, often hollow beneath. Natural stone is solid through and through, connected to the bedrock, to the mantle, to the core of the planet. Sitting on it, you're supported by the entire mass of the earth. There's a psychological phenomenon that occurs simply from knowing you're in a protected space, that this land has been set aside and safeguarded from development, extraction, and destruction. The concept of sanctuary is ancient. Temples, churches, sacred groves, humans have always created spaces that are exempt from the usual rules of use and conflict. National parks function as modern sanctuaries, not religious but ecological and spiritual in their own way. When you cross into a national park, you're entering a place where different rules apply. Hunting is typically prohibited. Development is restricted. The land is allowed to be itself, to follow its own processes. This creates a relaxation in you. You don't have to worry about what might be destroyed or changed. The waterfall will be there next year. The ancient trees are protected. There's continuity. Research in environmental psychology shows that people have measurably lower stress responses when they know they're in a protected area versus an unprotected one, even if the landscapes look similar. The knowledge that the place is valued, defended, cared for allows you to care about it without the grief of inevitable loss. This protection also means that ecological processes can unfold more completely. Fire, a crucial element in many ecosystems, is allowed to burn in controlled ways. Predator-prey relationships function. Rivers flood. The messiness and wildness of nature isn't constantly controlled and tamed. Witnessing this, seeing burned areas regenerating, seeing the chaos of a windfall creating new habitat, shows you that destruction and creation are part of the same process, that endings enable beginnings. The rangers, naturalists, and volunteers who protect these places add another dimension. Knowing that there are people dedicated to preserving this landscape, that there's a community of care around it, creates a sense of being part of something meaningful. You're not just a visitor but a beneficiary of and contributor to a collective project of preservation. After you've been in a national park for several hours or days, you may notice something remarkable. Your mind becomes quieter. The constant internal dialogue, the planning and remembering and worrying, doesn't stop entirely, but it changes character. This phenomenon has been studied in retreat ants and wilderness solo participants. After 72 hours in nature, people report significant decreases in rumination, the repetitive dwelling on problems that characterizes depression and anxiety. Brain imaging studies show decreased activity in the regions associated with self-referential thought. Part of this is simply rest from decision fatigue and social complexity. But there's more to it. In the absence of familiar cues and routines, your mind can't run its usual loops. The triggers that normally set off particular thought patterns aren't present. You're not passing the building where you had that awkward meeting. You're not seeing the dishes that remind you of your to-do list. The sensory richness of the natural world also occupies mental bandwidth that would otherwise be filled with rumination. Your attention is caught by the way light filters through leaves, by the sound of a bird you're trying to identify, by the scent on the wind. These small captures of attention interrupt thought spirals. There's also a quality of acceptance that wild places teach. A tree doesn't worry about whether it's growing fast enough or in the right direction. A river doesn't judge its path. Nature simply is, moment by moment, responding to conditions without the overlay of narrative and self-judgment that humans add. Spending time in this energy of simple being can shift your own relationship to your experience. Meditation teachers often speak of monkey mind, the restless, chattering quality of thoughts jumping from branch to branch. In the forest, watching actual movement through actual branches, the metaphor becomes literal. You can observe the monkeys, or squirrels, or birds, without being the monkey. You can watch your thoughts the same way. When you sleep in a national park, whether camping under stars or staying in a park lodge, the quality of sleep is often profoundly different from sleep at home. We've touched on circadian reset, but there's more. The temperature fluctuations of natural environments, cooler at night, warmer during day, work with your body's natural temperature rhythms. Your core body temperature drops as you fall asleep and rises as you wake. The cool night air in natural environments facilitates this drop, allowing faster sleep onset and deeper sleep stages. The darkness is complete in a way that's rare in modern life. Even small amounts of light exposure during sleep can disrupt melatonin production and fragment sleep architecture. In wilderness areas of national parks, you experience the total darkness that human beings slept in for most of our existence. Your pineal gland can produce melatonin in optimal quantities. The sounds of night in nature, wind, distant animal calls, rustling, create a soundscape that's both irregular enough to mask sudden noises that might startle you awake and patterned enough to be soothing. This is very different from the jarring unpredictability of urban sounds, sirens, car alarms, neighbors, or the dead silence of soundproofed rooms, which can actually make you more sensitive to any sound that does occur. The physical tiredness from hiking and activity in fresh air creates what's called sleep pressure, the accumulation of adenosine in your brain that makes sleep both easier to initiate and more efficient. You spend more time in deep sleep stages, where physical restoration occurs, and less time in light, fragmented sleep. People who camp in national parks often report vivid dreams. This may be because they're spending more time in REM sleep, the stage associated with dreaming. REM sleep is crucial for emotional processing and memory consolidation. The enhanced REM in natural settings may contribute to the psychological benefits of time in parks. At the most fundamental level, your cells themselves may be responding to the environment of a national park in ways we're only beginning to understand. Your cells communicate using not just chemical signals but also electromagnetic fields, subtle electrical charges, and possibly even quantum effects. The electromagnetic environment of wilderness areas is dramatically different from that of areas saturated with Wi-Fi, cellular signals, electrical wiring, and other human-generated fields. While research is ongoing and sometimes controversial, some studies suggest that the lower electromagnetic noise in wilderness areas allows cellular communication to occur more efficiently. Your cells can hear each other better. Mitochondria, the power plants of your cells, may function more optimally in these cleaner electromagnetic environments. When rain falls on you during a hike, when wind buffets you on an exposed ridge, when sun warms your skin, you're experiencing variations that your body knows how to respond to. Your thermoregulation systems activate. Your skin protects you. You adapt. This adaptive response to mild environmental challenge is another form of hormesis, beneficial stress that makes you stronger. People who regularly expose themselves to natural temperature variations, to wind and rain and sun, show improved immune function and better stress responses in other areas of life. There's also a psychological shift that happens when you stop seeing weather as an inconvenience to be avoided and start experiencing it as a natural phenomenon to move through. Rain isn't ruining your hike, it's part of the landscape. Wind isn't annoying, it's the atmosphere in motion. This acceptance of what is, rather than resistance to what you wish were different, is a foundational element of emotional well-being. Different weather creates different landscapes. A park in rain is transformed, colors deepen, scents intensify, sounds change. A park in fog becomes mysterious, distances obscured. A park after snow is pristine and new. Learning to appreciate these variations builds cognitive flexibility, the ability to find value in different conditions. Lightning, while dangerous and requiring respect, is one of nature's most dramatic displays of power. Watching a storm roll through mountains from a safe location, seeing lightning connect sky to earth, hearing thunder echo through valleys, witnessing the raw energy of atmospheric electricity, this inspires awe and reminds you of scales of power far beyond human control. After the storm, the clearance. That distinctive quality of light after rain, when the air is washed clean, when rainbows appear, when the sun breaks through. This transition teaches you about impermanence, about the way conditions change, about emergence of beauty after difficulty. And so we continue this journey through the numberless ways that national parks heal and restore you. We've explored the visible and invisible, the ancient and immediate, the physical and spiritual dimensions of these protected landscapes. But perhaps the deepest truth is the simplest: you belong here. Not here in this bed, in this room, in this modern cocoon, comfortable as it may be. You belong in the world. You belong among the living things, breathing the same air, drinking the same water, moving under the same sun and moon. Your body knows this. Your cells remember. Your nervous system relaxes in recognition when you return to wild places because you are returning home. Not to any specific place, but to the kind of place, the quality of place, that shaped your species. You don't have to understand all the mechanisms. You don't need to know about phytoncides or mycorrhizae or piezoelectricity. Your body will do what it knows how to do. It will breathe more deeply. It will release tension you didn't know you were carrying. It will recalibrate to rhythms older than civilization. The parks preserve these possibilities. They hold space for your return. The trails wait, patient as stone. The trees breathe their slow green breaths. The water continues its eternal conversation with gravity and stone. All of it is there, has been there, will be there. And when you cannot be there physically, you can travel there in your mind. You can close your eyes and remember. You can hear the wind and pines, smell the sun-warmed earth, feel the cool shade in the warm clearings. The memory lives in you, and calling it forth, your nervous system responds as if you're there. This is your birthright, not ownership of these lands, but belonging to them. Not control over nature, but participation in it. Not dominion, but kinship. Let yourself rest now in that belonging. Feel how you're held by the same forces that hold the mountains. Feel how you're part of the same community of life that includes everything from soil bacteria to soaring eagles. Feel how your breath connects you to every green growing thing. You are not separate from the calm of national parks. You are part of what they protect. The wilderness they preserve includes the wildness in you, your untamed capacity for joy, for presence, for simple being. Rest in that wildness now. Let it hold you as you drift towards sleep. Let the ancient rocks support you. Let the eternal waters sing you into dreams. Let the patient trees stand watch while you release all that you've been carrying. You are safe. You are held. You are home. You belong. As you rest now, imagine walking through a meadow in a national park at dusk. The plants around you are engaged in conversations you cannot hear, releasing chemical messages into the air that tell stories of threat and opportunity, of growth and defense. When a plant is being eaten by insects, it releases volatile organic compounds, chemical distress signals that neighboring plants can detect. Those neighboring plants, receiving the message, begin producing defensive compounds even before they're attacked. This early warning system has been protecting plant communities for millions of years. But these compounds don't just affect other plants. When you breathe them in, your body responds. Some plant volatiles have antimicrobial properties that support your immune system. Others, like the terpenes released by pine and spruce trees, have been shown to reduce inflammation in human airways and may improve respiratory function. The scent of cut grass, that distinctive smell after a lawn is mowed or after you brush through tall meadow grass, comes from compounds called green leaf volatiles. These chemicals have been studied for their effects on human stress responses. Research shows that exposure to green leaf volatiles can reduce feelings of stress and improve mood, possibly because these scents signaled the presence of fresh vegetation and water sources to our ancestors. Flowers release their strongest scents at the times when their pollinators are most active, some in daylight, others at dusk, others in deep night. When you're present in a natural area as these scent pulses occur, you're experiencing the chemical rhythms of the ecosystem. Your olfactory system, connected more directly to your limbic system, the emotional brain, than any other sense, processes these scents in ways that bypass rational thought and speak directly to feeling. Different ecosystems have signature scent profiles. The creosote bush of desert parks releases a distinctive smell after rain, a scent so evocative that it has a name, petrichor. This scent comes from oils the plant secretes to protect itself during dry periods, oils that are released when rain arrives. Smelling it, you're detecting the desert's celebration of water, and your brain, recognizing abundance after scarcity, may respond with relief and pleasure. Many national parks preserve fire-adapted ecosystems, landscapes that not only survive fire but require it to thrive. Understanding this transforms how you think about destruction and renewal. Giant sequoias, among the oldest and largest living things on Earth, have cones that only open and release seeds in the intense heat of fire. Fire clears the understory, allowing light to reach the forest floor where sequoia seedlings need it to grow. Without fire, these ancient giants cannot reproduce. Longleaf pine ecosystems in southeastern parks like Congaree depend on regular, low-intensity fires to maintain their structure. The pines have thick bark that protects them from flames. Fire eliminates competing hardwoods and creates conditions for the incredible diversity of understory plants, up to 40 species per square meter, among the highest plant diversity in North America. Watching a burned landscape in a national park, seeing the blackened earth and charred trees, you might initially perceive destruction. But return a few months later, and you'll see an explosion of growth. Fire releases nutrients locked in dead plant matter. It creates openings for light. Seeds that have been waiting in the soil, sometimes for decades, germinate in response to heat or smoke. This cycle of destruction and creation, death and rebirth, is fundamental to many ecosystems. Experiencing it teaches acceptance of change and loss, shows you that endings enable new beginnings, models resilience and regeneration. These aren't just metaphors, they're observable processes you can witness. The smoke from natural wildfires, while dangerous in concentration, contains compounds that certain plants have evolved to recognize as germination signals. Some seeds simply won't sprout without smoke exposure. This intricate adaptation speaks to the deep integration of all elements: fire, plant, soil, water, air, and functioning ecosystems. For you, walking through a burned and regenerating landscape, there's a powerful message. You, too, can survive fire. You can be scorched by life and still send up new growth. The burned forest is not dead, it's transforming. And so can you. In national parks, death is visible and unhidden. Fallen trees lie across the forest floor, slowly returning to soil. Animal remains feed scavengers and decomposers. This honesty about mortality and decay offers unexpected comfort. A fallen tree becomes what ecologists call a nurse log, providing habitat and nutrients for countless organisms. Fungi fruit from its bark. Insects tunnel through its wood. Seedlings sprout from the nutrients it releases. Eventually, it will completely break down, becoming part of the soil that nourishes the next generation of trees. This process takes decades or centuries. A large Douglas fir might take 200 years to fully decompose. During all that time, it's supporting life. In death, it's perhaps more alive with organisms than it was when it was a single living tree. Decomposition is facilitated by an invisible community of bacteria, fungi, and invertebrates. These decomposers are some of the most important organisms in any ecosystem, yet they're rarely celebrated. They close the loop, ensuring that nutrients are recycled, that nothing is wasted, that death feeds life. When you see this process happening naturally, not sanitized or hidden or rushed, it changes your relationship with mortality. Death isn't an ending but a transformation. The atoms that made up that tree will become part of soil, then other plants, then perhaps animals, then soil again. Everything continues, only the form changes. This is true of you as well. The atoms in your body right now have been part of countless other organisms. You're a temporary custodian of particles that are essentially immortal, that will go on to be part of other lives after you. There's something deeply comforting about this continuity, this belonging to the great recycling of matter and energy that is life on Earth. Sitting with decay in a national park, smelling the rich scent of decomposing leaves, seeing the beauty in the patterns of rot and renewal, you might find yourself less afraid. Not of death specifically, but of endings in general. Jobs end. Relationships end. Chapters of life close. But like the forest, you can trust in regeneration, in the new growth that follows every ending. We've discussed the sounds of national parks, but the silence between the sounds may be equally important for your nervous system. In acoustic ecology, silence isn't absence but presence, the space that allows you to hear the next sound clearly. In national parks, especially in wilderness areas far from human noise, the gaps between sounds can stretch for long moments. A bird calls, then silence. Wind rustles leaves, then silence. These gaps create a rhythm of sound and silence that's deeply restorative. Your auditory system is constantly working in modern environments to filter signal from noise. This is exhausting. In silence, your auditory cortex can rest. Studies show that just 2 minutes of silence can lower blood pressure and heart rate more effectively than listening to relaxing music. But it's more than rest. In silence, your hearing becomes more acute. You notice subtler sounds, your own heartbeat, your breathing, the tiny movements of small creatures, distant water. This heightened sensitivity brings awareness inward while also expanding outward. You become more attuned to both your internal state and the environment. Silence also creates space for insight. In constant noise and stimulation, thoughts don't have room to form fully. In silence, especially natural silence, your mind can follow thoughts to deeper levels. Many people report that their best insights, their moments of clarity, come in silent natural settings. There's a quality of sacred silence in certain places in national parks, a grove of old-growth trees, a high mountain basin, a desert at dawn. This silence isn't empty, it feels full, pregnant with presence. Indigenous peoples have long recognized certain places as sacred, and often these are places of profound quiet. The silence allows you to hear something beyond ordinary perception, whether you interpret that as inner wisdom, spiritual presence, or simply the deep peace of being fully present. National parks provide what ecologists call ecosystem services, functions that benefit humans even if you never visit. Understanding these invisible gifts changes how you relate to protected lands. Forests and national parks act as watersheds, capturing rain and snowmelt, filtering it through soil and rock, releasing it gradually into streams and aquifers. The water you drink in cities downstream may have been purified by a national forest. The trees and soil are providing a service that would cost billions if humans had to replicate it with treatment facilities. These same forests sequester carbon, pulling CO2 from the atmosphere and storing it in wood and soil. A single large tree can absorb 48 pounds of CO2 per year. Old-growth forests store enormous amounts of carbon that would otherwise contribute to climate change. By preserving these forests, parks are stabilizing the climate for everyone. Parks maintain genetic diversity, wild populations of plants and animals that contain genetic variations that might be crucial for adaptation to future conditions. Crop wild relatives, the wild ancestors of domesticated plants, exist in protected areas. If cultivated crops face new diseases or changing climate, these wild populations might contain genes for resistance or adaptation. Pollinators depend on the continuous blooming resources available in diverse natural habitats. The bees, butterflies, and other pollinators that live in or migrate through national parks go on to pollinate crops on farms beyond park boundaries. The parks act as population sources and refuges. Even if you never visit a national park, even if you live in a city thousands of miles away, you're benefiting from these services. This connection, though invisible, is real. The health of these ecosystems contributes to your health, to the stability of systems you depend on, to the resilience of the living planet that supports all human life. Knowing this can shift your relationship with wild places from optional recreation to essential infrastructure. They're not luxuries but necessities, not separate from your life but integral to it. In national parks with dark sky designations, you can see what most of humanity saw every night for all of history until about 150 years ago, the full glory of the stars. The Milky Way, our home galaxy, becomes visible as a river of light across the sky. You're looking at the combined light of billions of stars, looking into the structure of the galaxy from inside it. The photons entering your eyes left those stars years, decades, centuries, millennia ago. You're literally seeing into the past. This perspective is vertiginous and grounding simultaneously. You're standing on a planet that's spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting a star at 67,000 miles per hour, in a solar system that's orbiting the galactic center at 514,000 miles per hour, in a galaxy that's moving through space at 1.3 million miles per hour. Yet you feel still. You feel stable. The scales are so vast that they become peaceful rather than terrifying. Looking at stars reduces activity in the brain regions associated with daily concerns. Your planning mind, your worrying mind, has no purchase on these scales. What does your deadline matter to light that's traveled for 1,000 years to reach you? Not because your concerns are meaningless, but because they're happening in a context so vast that they can be held more lightly. Stargazing also connects you to every human who has ever looked up in wonder. Your ancestors navigated by these stars, told stories about these constellations, oriented their lives by stellar rhythms. When you look up in a dark sky park, you're seeing essentially the same view they saw, sharing an experience across time. The darkness required to see stars properly is healing in itself. True darkness triggers maximum melatonin production, supports circadian health, and provides a deep rest for your eyes and nervous system. Light pollution in cities means many people never experience real darkness, and this chronic light exposure may contribute to sleep problems, mood disorders, and even certain cancers. Wind moves differently through each landscape type in national parks, creating signature sounds that have subtle but real effects on your state of mind. In forests, wind moves through leaves in layers, the high canopy, the mid-story, the understory. Each layer creates different frequencies, and together they produce a complex, evolving soundscape. Deciduous leaves create a rustling shush, while conifer needles create a higher, whisper-like sound. These natural white noise patterns help mask intrusive sounds and create acoustic privacy, even in your own mind from your own thoughts. In grasslands, wind makes grasses bend and wave, creating a sound like rushing water or distant rain. This sound has a rhythm that's irregular but not random, complex but not chaotic. Your brain entrains to these patterns, following them into more relaxed states. Prairie sounds have been used in sound healing practices for exactly this quality. In desert parks, wind moves across stone and through sparse vegetation, creating a different character entirely, sometimes a whistle through rock formations, sometimes a hiss across sand, sometimes silence when the air is perfectly still. The contrast between wind and stillness is stark, teaching presence and impermanence in the same breath. Mountain wind can be dramatic, powerful enough to feel like a presence, roaring through passes, howling around peaks. This intensity isn't necessarily calming in the conventional sense, but it's invigorating. It wakes you up, demands your attention, makes you feel alive. Sometimes that's exactly what your spirit needs, not soothing but stimulation, not gentle but strong. The wind itself is air in motion, the atmosphere seeking equilibrium, masses of different temperatures and pressures flowing to balance themselves. When you feel wind on your skin, you're feeling planetary scale processes made tangible. The same wind that touches you has touched mountains, crossed oceans, swirled around the whole globe. You're connected through air to everywhere and everyone. Fungi are neither plant nor animal but their own kingdom, and national parks preserve fungal diversity that we're only beginning to understand. Mushrooms, the visible fruiting bodies of fungi, appear in national park forests in extraordinary diversity, thousands of species, many not yet named or studied. They emerge after rains, push up through leaves, glow and bioluminescent species create fairy rings and clusters that look like sculpture. The mycelium, the underground network of fungal threads, is the actual organism. A mushroom is just its reproductive structure, like an apple on a tree. The mycelium can be vast. The largest known organism on Earth is a honey fungus mycelium in Oregon's Malheur National Forest, covering 2,385 acres and estimated to be between 2,400 and 8,650 years old. Fungi produce an astonishing array of compounds, many with medicinal properties. Penicillin, the first antibiotic, came from a fungus. Many modern medicines are derived from fungal compounds. Walking through a national park forest, you're surrounded by chemical diversity that might hold cures for diseases we don't yet know how to treat. Some fungi are psychoactive, producing compounds that affect human consciousness. While using them is generally illegal and outside the scope of park recreation, their existence raises intriguing questions. Why do fungi produce compounds that fit so precisely into human neural receptors? Is it coincidence, or is there some deeper coevolution between fungi and consciousness? Even non-psychoactive fungi affect your consciousness simply by their presence. The scent of mushrooms, earthy and complex, is calming for many people. The act of hunting for mushrooms, walking slowly, looking carefully, finding hidden treasures, induces a state of relaxed attention that's meditative. Fungi are the decomposers, the great recyclers, as we discussed earlier. But they're also symbionts, partners with trees and plants. And they're communicators, forming the information highways of the forest. Understanding that you walk above this invisible intelligent network changes how a forest feels. It's not just trees but a community, and you're a temporary visitor in an ancient conversation. In national parks, you can observe the water cycle, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, collection, in ways that are obscured in urban environments. Morning mist rising from a lake or river is water evaporating, drawing heat energy from the water and storing it in vapor. This process cools the water surface and humidifies the air. Breathing mist-rich air provides your respiratory system with optimal humidity, soothing airways and making breathing feel easier and deeper. Clouds form over mountains as moist air rises, cools, and condenses. You can watch this happen in real time. See clouds appear on previously clear peaks, see weather form before your eyes. This makes the invisible forces of temperature, pressure, and humidity tangible and visible. Rain, when it comes, is water returning. The same water that evaporated from the ocean, traveled thousands of miles, condensed in clouds, now falls here, will soak into soil, filter through rock, emerge in springs, flow in streams, eventually return to the ocean. You can follow this journey, understanding yourself as part of it. You're mostly water, after all, and that water is also cycling, entering and leaving your body, connecting you to clouds and oceans and ancient aquifers. Snow is water in its most beautiful crystalline form. Each snowflake has a unique structure, but all follow the same basic hexagonal geometry dictated by the molecular structure of water. Catching snowflakes in a national park, you're witnessing molecular self-organization, the way matter spontaneously creates order and beauty. The sound of rain in different landscapes creates different rhythms. Rain on leaves sounds different from rain on stone, from rain on water, from rain on soil. Each surface creates its own percussion, and together they create a symphony that's never exactly the same twice. This infinite variation within pattern is soothing to your pattern-seeking brain. Understanding that you're part of the water cycle, that the water you drink today might have been in a cloud yesterday, in a tree last week, in the ocean last month, in a dinosaur millions of years ago, this continuity locates you in deep time and wide space simultaneously. The places where different ecosystems meet, where forest edges into meadow, where river meets bank, where mountain slopes transition from one vegetation zone to another, are called ecotones, and they're particularly rich in both biodiversity and psychological interest. Ecotones typically have higher species diversity than either of the ecosystems they connect. They provide resources and habitats from both systems, creating unique niches. Animals move through ecotones, using them as corridors and hunting grounds. Plants adapted to transitional conditions thrive in these spaces. For you as a visitor, ecotones provide visual and sensory richness. Standing at the edge of a forest looking into a meadow, you can see both landscapes at once, experience both the enclosed protection of trees and the open possibility of grassland. This combination of shelter and prospect is something humans evolved to prefer. It offers both safety and awareness of opportunities or threats. Edges are also places of change and dynamic interaction. Water edges are constantly shifting with tides, floods, seasons. Forest edges advance and retreat with fire, climate, and succession. Witnessing these transitional zones reminds you that boundaries are often fluid, that categories overlap, that life exists in the in-between spaces. There's a metaphorical richness to edges that your psyche responds to even if you don't consciously think about it. You might be in a transition yourself, between jobs, relationships, life phases. The ecotone shows you that these in-between places are not voids but rich zones of possibility, where new combinations can emerge. The quality of light changes at edges. Forest edges receive raking light that illuminates textures. Water edges reflect and refract light in complex ways. Mountain elevation edges often catch clouds and create dramatic light effects. Your visual system, which has sophisticated edge detection capabilities, finds these transitions inherently interesting and engaging. Throughout this journey, we've touched on many senses, but let's return once more to touch, to the particular textures that national parks offer your skin and hands. Tree bark comes in extraordinary variety. Smooth aspen, rough oak, papery birch, furrowed pine, shaggy redwood. Running your hand over bark provides rich tactile feedback, temperature differences, moisture levels, texture patterns. This sensory input activates your somatosensory cortex and can be grounding and calming. Rock surfaces range from smooth river stones, polished by millennia of water, to rough granite faces, to the sharp edges of newly fractured stone. Each texture tells a story of the forces that shaped it. Touching stone connects you to geological time, to the patient processes that created the mineral world. Moss is among the softest natural textures, springy and cool. The feeling of moss under your hands or beneath your feet, when walking gently where it's abundant, is unique. Nothing human-made quite replicates it. Moss indicates moisture and shade, signals of life and coolness that your body recognizes. Water itself has texture, the silky feel of very cold mountain water, the slightly warmer flow of lowland streams, the different density and resistance of water in motion versus still water. Putting your hands in stream water, feeling it flow around your fingers, provides a dynamic tactile experience that's both stimulating and soothing. Sand, whether on a beach or in a desert, flows and shifts, molding to your touch but refusing to hold a form when loose. Playing with sand, letting it run through your fingers, making patterns, is a meditative activity that humans of all ages find satisfying. It's tactile, visual, and somehow deeply peaceful. Pine needles create a soft carpet under your feet in conifer forests, a texture completely different from grass or bare earth. Walking on them, you sink slightly, and they release their scent. The combination of tactile, olfactory, and auditory, a soft shushing sound, creates a multi-sensory experience. National parks invite slowness in ways that modern life rarely does. There are no deadlines on a trail, no productivity metrics for watching a sunset, no efficiency gains to be made in observing clouds. Walking slowly, you notice more. The flash of color that's a bird you would have missed at faster pace. The delicate flower blooming close to the ground. The pattern of lichen on a rock. Slowness creates the space for noticing, and noticing creates joy, curiosity, wonder. Your metabolism shifts when you move slowly for extended periods. Unlike the stop-start of modern life or the intensity of exercise workouts, steady slow movement over hours allows your body to settle into fat-burning mode, into a sustainable rhythm that could continue for a very long time. This is how humans moved for most of our existence, walking at a pace that could be maintained for miles and days. Slow movement is also a practice of presence. You can't think very far ahead when you're moving slowly through nature. You might have a destination, but the moment-to-moment experience is what's available. This trains your mind to be where your body is, to inhabit the present rather than projecting into future or past. There's a practice called forest bathing or Shinrin-yoku in Japan, which involves walking very slowly through forest, engaging all your senses, sometimes spending an hour covering a distance you could walk in 10 minutes. This isn't hiking for exercise, it's moving meditation. Research shows it lowers stress hormones, improves mood, and enhances immune function even more than regular paced forest walking. Slowness also allows your nervous system to downregulate. The fast pace of modern life keeps your sympathetic nervous system activated, the fight-or-flight response. Slow, gentle movement signals safety to your nervous system, allowing parasympathetic activation, the rest and digest response. Your heart rate slows. Your breathing deepens. Your digestion improves. Your muscles release tension. National parks preserve evidence of the past, ancient trees, geological formations, archaeological sites, while also protecting the future, habitat for endangered species, carbon storage, genetic diversity. Standing in them, you exist at the meeting point of deep time past and possible futures. Ancient bristlecone pines have lived through all of recorded human history. The oldest known, at nearly 5,000 years old, was a seedling when the pyramids were being built, was already ancient when Rome fell, was mature when the Renaissance began. Touching such a tree, you're touching something that's persisted through all of human civilization. Archaeological sites and parks preserve evidence of indigenous peoples who lived in these landscapes for thousands of years before European contact. Rock art, dwellings, tools, ceremonial sites, these remnants speak of deep relationship with place, of peoples who knew these lands intimately. Their presence, even centuries after their displacement, reminds you that humans can live as part of ecosystems rather than apart from them. At the same time, parks protect futures. Endangered species like California condors, black-footed ferrets, gray wolves, species brought back from the brink, find refuge in protected lands. By preserving habitat and limiting human impact, parks keep possibilities open for these species to recover, adapt, evolve. The genetic diversity preserved in wild populations is a kind of library of future possibilities. We don't know what traits might be valuable as conditions change. The variety of adaptations present in wild populations, different tolerances for heat or cold, different disease resistances, different reproductive strategies, increases the likelihood that some individuals will survive changing conditions and pass on their genes. Standing in a national park, you're at the intersection of these timescales. Behind you, the evidence of millions of years of evolution, thousands of years of human presence, centuries of growth and change. Ahead of you, the potential for these ecosystems to persist, for species to continue, for future generations to also stand and wonder in these places. And now, as we approach the end of this long journey through the healing qualities of national parks, let yourself settle even more deeply into rest. You've learned so much about phytoncides and fractals, about mycorrhizae and melatonin, about the chemistry of calm and the geometry of growing things. But more than learning, you've been experiencing. Even here, in this bed, your nervous system has been responding to the images and ideas, shifting into states more aligned with peace. Your breath has slowed without you trying. Your muscles have released some of the tension they were holding. Your mind has wandered through forests and meadows, has climbed mountains and followed streams, has watched stars and witnessed weather. In doing so, you've given your nervous system permission to rest. The parks are always there. The old trees stand in their patient way. The waters flow in their eternal courses. The stone holds its position, grounded and solid. The sky opens above, vast and welcoming. All of this continues whether you're physically present or not. And you carry it with you now. The memory of green, of flowing water, of wind and leaves. The felt sense of ground beneath your feet and horizon before your eyes. The deep breath of clean air, the sound of birdsong, the scent of pine. These are not just memories but resources. Anytime you need to return to calm, you can close your eyes and remember. Your nervous system will respond. Your breath will deepen. Your heart rate will slow. The peace of wild places lives in you. You are not separate from nature. You are nature. The same forces that shape mountains and carve canyons, that guide birds in migration and turn seeds into forests, these forces live in you. You are part of the great community of life, connected to everything through breath and water, through atoms and energy, through the web of relationship that includes all living things. Rest in that belonging now. Let the vastness hold you. Let the ancient rhythms rock you gently towards sleep. Let go of what you need to control, what you need to figure out, what you need to do. For this moment, for these hours of night, you can simply be. Be like the mountain, solid and still. Be like the river, flowing and accepting. Be like the tree, rooted deep and reaching high. Be like the bird, resting in the nest, trusting in the dawn. You are safe. You are held. You are part of something infinitely larger than your individual concerns, and that something is fundamentally benevolent, fundamentally ordered, fundamentally alive. The national parks preserve this truth. They hold the space where you can remember who you really are, not just your roles and identities and stories, but the deeper self that is aware, that breathes, that exists in this moment and only this moment. Let yourself rest in that awareness now. Awareness of breathing. Awareness of being. Awareness aware of itself, like a calm pool reflecting the sky. The journey continues even as you sleep. Your cells regenerate. Your brain processes and integrates. Your body heals. All of this happens without your effort, guided by wisdom older than thought, carried by the same intelligence that guides the forest and the river and the mountains. You belong to life, and life sustains you. You belong to this moment, and this moment is enough. Rest now. Deep rest. Healing rest. The kind of rest that only comes when you remember your home.